Hello, this is my final analysis of the South African Nationals, and I have been sitting here trying to crunch numbers. I am not a numbers man. I'm really bad at math. I teach history and English, but I have been crunching a few numbers, and I've been sort of looking at what's going on, and this video will showcase quite a lot of the final things about the South African nationals. But before I actually go and show you anything else, I think I should show you two things. I should show you the um, the results, which is here. This is the final standing from the South African Nationals, which Dale Jackson won using British Commonwealth. Steph with his British Burma, and David Holmes, MSU Guadalcanal list, took second and third. Adam, just generic British, and Gordon's Soviets took fourth and fifth. I will go through at least the top 10 and go back and look at some of my predictions for this, because that also informs how well we can sort of guess stuff based just on lists and based on player ratings and all of that. I have a whole little bit about that. But before I do that, I wanted to show you one thing, and that was the winners of the tournament. Here is the whole spread. They're all standing here looking at us. They had a nice weekend. Um, and here we have, I'm guessing this is Arno Jr., who brought Japanese. Here we have first place, and I'm guessing it's Rudy handing out the prizes here. Second place, that was for Steph. And third place, that was David's MSU list. Oh, we have some more. We have, sorry. That was another. Here we have most heroic action. Somebody needs to tell me that story. Is it ooh, it might actually be about a close combat that I've already heard. Somebody from South Africa, tell me what he got that award for, please. And best commander. Nice. So yeah. Now I wanted to show you my number crunching, and it's here. Let me just push that up. Right. So this is the top players. We have Dale, who won, Steph, David, and so forth. This is the top 10. You can see the results over here. And this is crucial. Last tournament, these four guys were in the top 5. Rudy took first place, Adam took second, David third, he took third again this time, and Picky, he took fifth. Now, so based on that, I had Rudy had given me his ranking of the players, what he actually thought from a 1 to 5, how good were they? And I have made my own list ranking here. What I thought about the lists, how competitive were they? And we added that up and gave a sort of rough guesstimate for who would be in the top 10. And this is our guess, right? We had a top 5, and the only one that we missed, no, actually, we missed quite a lot, didn't we? Because Picky and Rudy both, they took 6th and 7th. Okay. Anton, he went way south. He took 14th place. So something must have gone wrong in our estimation of Anton, or for Anton on the day. But looking at our top 10, we only have 2 of the top 10 that we didn't guess in advance. So that is around 80% accuracy for guessing the top 10 based on lists and knowing the players. That is pretty good. That is really good. And if you look at my guess for the top lists, 3 of the lists that I had given 4 plus, and these were the only lists. I had one list that I had rated higher, and that was Anton's list. I had rated as a 5, and he tanked on the day. But 3 lists I had rated as a 4 plus, which was very competitive, but with a few maybe flaws. They all end in top 5. No list that was 4 or more did not end in top 5. These were the only 3 top 5. These were the only 3 4 plus lists I had. So that again is a pretty good indicator. I've made 2 mistakes on just basing my guess on lists, and that was Frick, who did very, very well with something that I thought would not work at all. Sorry, Frick, I didn't like your list. But evidently you worked it well. You're a good player, and the list worked. So my guessing just based on viewing lists is not always spot on. And then, of course, Anton, who did not do so well. Kobus also failed a bit on the day. Me and Rudy had ranked him in top 10. He came 15th. Well, it happens. Sometimes you lose the crucial games, right? So that is the player guesstimates here. My guesstimate was approximately 80% accurate, and mine and Rudy's was approximately 80% accurate. Just guessing based on list and guessing on list plus players. So that was fun. That was a fun little experiment. Now, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to show you the top 5 lists. And I think I will start with Dale. And let me just... I had them somewhere here. Here we go. Right. Dale. Okay. Doesn't want to open, apparently. Here we go. So Dale's list was the Commonwealth Infantry Brigade. I have actually featured this before. He had brought a lot of skirmish infantry, and I felt like that it was too much skirmish infantry. I felt like he should have brought a single or 2 good push units, but Dale was like, no, I've tried that. I've done the whole Gurkha thing. I don't want to do that. I don't feel right doing it. And he evidently did well with his skirmish infantry. He had brought Indians, and double tanks. He could bring 3 tanks because he had that much infantry. So he brings 2 cruiser tanks and a single Matilda tank. So really nice. It's a lot of armor and then a lot of skirmish infantry. So that really works out. And of course, he is bringing 3 Bren carriers as well. So he has what I would call a pseudo tank list build here. Very strong build, and he evidently did well. Dale, congratulations on your win. Then for the second place, we had, what was it? It was Steph. Where is my list? There we go. It was Steph, and where was he? He was down here. There we go. Right. He had brought the Burma list with Gurkhas, a man after my own heart. So he had Gurkha paratroopers, very hard troops. He had 4 of those, really hard, 5 of those actually, really hard challenges, up and at him on them. This was a list that I felt like could do well, but had a few issues, mainly that he needed to bring his Gurkhas into charge range, which I guess would be one of the major drawbacks for this list. It also sort of lacked, it hasn't got any armor at all, which may have bothered you, Steph, on the day, but Gurkhas are just so good. They're very, very strong, right? So they can carry a player a lot of the way, but they are also very difficult to use. So only good players will get the maximum amount of them, and Steph definitely did. So that was Steph lists. He, of course, combined his Gurkhas with medium mortar, Pied, sniper, flamethrower, light artillery, and a few jeeps to push up the Pied and the flamethrower. I am guessing it wouldn't be enough to beat Dale's armored platoon. So that was Steph. Now, on the third place, we had David, and he had brought that very unusual MSU list, 20 Order Dice, Guadalcanal, with Marine Raider units and an air observer. I don't know how well that did on the day, David. Maybe you can tell me if you watch this video. But a lot of Marine Raiders and then double bazookas, so small teams, lots of those. War Dog as well, and then Jeeps galore. So it was a true Horde army, true MSU list where Dave got to pick the units that he wanted to use at the times he wanted, just from having so many dice compared to the enemy. So that was list number 3. In fourth place, who was that? That was Adam, right? And Adam, here we go. He had brought another British platoon, so you can see the Brits were doing really well, the British players. Another British platoon, again, this was a little bit of a mix. He had brought engineers, some riflemen, a few Gurkhas, not that many. Up and Adam, which I felt like was maybe a mistake. When you only bring a few Gurkhas, the rest of your army need to benefit as well, was my thought. So vengeance for me with this army build in particular, and that was maybe why I rated it a little bit lower than it actually did on the day. Medium mortar, sniper, Pierhead, light artillery, Humber armored car, Bren carriers, and a Chaffee. So this has some of what the other Gurkha list did not have. It has a lot more armor, this list, and as such, it could really deal with other issues. So I may have rated it poorly, but it really did well, and it is surprisingly durable. It has the combination of close combat troops with a lot of armor, because it really has 4 armored vehicles here, right? So that was the 4th list, Adams. And then the final list was Gordon, which was this one. And he had brought his Soviets with double guards here and sniper team, double medium mortars, assault engineers with a flamethrower, a Bren carrier to carry them, assault engineers with flamethrowers, so double of everything, basically. This is a list that lives on redundancy, right? It has double stewards, it has double mortars, it has double assault engineers and Bren carriers. It has double guards with Panzerfausts. Everything is double. And Gordon clearly did well with that as well. So that was list number 5. And that was all from me on the South African nationals. The lists that did poorly, of course, the German lists came pretty far down. And that sucks, but that's just how competitive bolt action works right now. The Germans, with the weird and wacky and wonderful exception of the Spanish nationals, which was won by a German list, the Germans are not doing well. So it's still a question of maybe getting the right players with the right training level and the right list. Thank you so much for viewing along with me on the South African Nationals, and thank you for everyone who participated. It was a joy. I look forward to seeing you all at the WTC and any other international tournaments that you may attend. Cheers.